Hey, this is Eamon. In this video, I want to talk to you about how you can set more painting estimates from your Facebook leads. Now, increasing your set rate is really important because you're already paying to acquire these leads. And let's say you're paying to acquire 50 leads a month. If you're booking only 10 of them into estimates, then that's a 20% set rate. If you can just double that, if you can get your set rate to like 40%, then now you're booking 20 estimates. And you might possibly have doubled your revenue as well, if you've got the same close rate on them. So it's really important because it's just about being more efficient. You don't even have to increase budget. You just need to make the most out of what you're already doing. Now, first, I want to say the estimates are more important than leads, especially when it comes to Facebook ads, because it's really hard to define a lead on Facebook. Okay, now you can look at the ads manager and it can say, cost per result or cost per Facebook lead or meta lead or whatever it says now. But what does that even mean? Is it someone who fills out the form and just shows up in your ads manager? Because that means nothing to you. That's not even an estimate, let alone, revenue for your business. It's not a book job. Or is a lead somebody who replies to your follow-up but doesn't go on to book an estimate? In which case, again, was that really useful to you? Estimates matter more because they show a lot more intent and they're your actual sales opportunities, okay? It's only once you're in the house with the homeowner that you can actually make the sale. Now, I know the cost per lead is obviously important and the person who's in charge of the ads should concern themselves with it. But I mean, as far as the business in general is concerned, the cost per lead really isn't that important. So you want to think about your cost per estimate more than your cost per lead. As far as how to increase your set rate so you can book more estimates, give people the option of booking their own estimates into your calendar. But this is one thing you can do. This is really convenient for people because they can just schedule on their own time, and you don't even need to be awake for this. Okay, like people could be up at night scrolling and they'll fill out your form and they'll see this. So this is what it looks like after they submit their form. They'll see this. Wait, one last step. Have your phone ready. We'll reach out to you shortly. This can just be for your automation. Like I said, if it's at night, you're not actually going to call. Or you can hit the button below to schedule your estimate yourself onto our calendar. Now, you'll be surprised how many people actually go on to book their own estimate if you just give them the option, if you just show them the calendar. Okay, they'll just click on this and they'll also be sent the link on their phone because they gave you their phone number, and ideally you have automations on the back end. And if they just click on this after they submit the form, this is just a company I found online, they'll go to your calendar and they'll just book their own estimate in with you. And it's really convenient for them, like I said. But this is probably the easiest win you can do. Just watch one of these two videos about how to create your own online calendar, and each of these comes with automations. In this video, I'll talk about how to do it with a free software called Calendly. And here I'll talk about Go High Level, which is a CRM that I use. And I've actually got a link for a 14-day free trial of that in the description if you're interested. And now the thing with the calendar is you want to make sure it's not too complicated to fill out. Just ask for the essential information. Just name, number, and address. And honestly, you might not even need to ask for the project description because if you already had them answer that on the form, then you already know what it is. You don't need to ask. It's already come into your CRM. Again, I know CRMs differ, but something like this, you should be sending that to your CRM, even if you have to do it with Zapier. You don't need that with High Level. But the point is, don't make it too complicated to fill out this calendar. And people really will book in their own estimates. So this is like the lowest hanging fruit you can do. It requires no effort on your part. You don't need to get somebody to call the leads within 5 minutes, which I will mention. We'll talk about that later. But this is the easiest thing you can do, and it's probably going to get you like the most outsized returns, short of calling within 5 minutes. Now the next one is just using follow-up automations. So even if for whatever reason that you don't want to use the calendar, you can just have follow-up automations going out. Not everyone is going to book their estimate immediately or pick up the phone when you call the first time. Now this is a kind of a drawback of calling people right away. They may not be in a place where they can pick up. So you're going to have to make a note of that. If you have a CRM that sends follow-up emails and texts to people over a 2 to 4 week period, that really is essential. Now these messages aren't daily, okay? You don't want to be harassing people, but over a 2 to 4 week period, with some days, maybe like 2 days at a time, 3 days at a time, sending them texts and emails, trying to get back in front of them, and ideally try to offer them value, like send them some useful things, maybe some blog posts from your website, things like that. That's going to keep you top of mind for people. And eventually, if you're doing this over a 2 to 4 week period, eventually you're going to catch them at the right time, and they're going to at least respond, if not book their estimate altogether. And like I said, that's if you're directing them back to the calendar. If you're sending the link for the calendar in your follow-up emails and texts, which I highly recommend that you do. And I actually talk about this in these two videos, top 3 automations for painting companies, where I talk about the top 3 automations that you need to have in your company. As long as you're painting, I think that you really need to have some variation of these 3. And when it comes to actually writing the messages, I've got some examples in this video, but if you want to know how to write them with AI and actually give you the prompts in the comments and the description of this video, then I highly recommend that you watch that. Now, like I said, if you use Go High Level, which I've got in my description, and you pair it with these automations and these follow-up messages, you don't even need to increase your budget on your ads. It's already going to make a huge difference for you in the amount of people booking in their own estimates. So much so that calling leads within 5 minutes, you might be able to hold off on that if you're not at a place where you want to get an office admin. But if you do have an office person, or you're able to do it yourself, then calling leads as quickly as possible within 5 minutes. You've probably seen these speed to lead stats before, or you've heard about the idea. Calling leads as quickly as possible is going to be your best way to maximize your booking rate, okay? After you're already sending the calendar and you're calling within 5 minutes, then you're giving people as many options as possible. And it's not overwhelming or anything. Don't worry about that. If you call within 5 minutes, you're going to have good pickup rates. And you're going to know right away whether somebody's serious about painting their house or not. Because even with, the best ads, the most, friction on the forums, I've spoken about this before, you're still going to get people who just fill out the form more out of curiosity than anything else. And you're going to know right away if you call whether you should, keep worrying about this lead, when are they going to pick up, when are they going to respond, things like that. So if you call, you're going to know right away. And with calling, it's best to use a script that pre-sells. You want to agree on a date to book their estimate and offer them some kind of bonus or discount. It's probably best to standardize this, so maybe like an extra 5% discount on top of whatever you're already offering, if you're offering something. Or maybe like a paint upgrade, whatever it is. Like I said, something you can just standardize as part of your sales process. If they sign with you on the day, if they like what they see, they like the, your attention to detail, they like your proposal, and that you're getting them everything that they need, then if they sign with you, you can offer them a bonus. And you can say that on the phone. And just as a bonus, if they tell you on the phone that they're getting other quotes, then ask them when the last one is going to be. So you can book yourself in after that. And you'll be able to compare your quote with theirs actually at their home, okay? So now you're kind of like a trusted advisor, and you're not just another number. You're actually helping them to make that decision. And obviously in the end, you think it's in their best interest if they go with you. If you're actually confident that you can do a good job for them. But that's why you're going to be looking over the quotes with them. So that's a really good way to frame the estimate. And by the way, if you're getting people booking in with the automations or into your calendar, you can still call them afterwards to confirm, to get more details and to take an interest in their project and, ask them all this stuff if they're getting other quotes and things like that. You can still do that. That'll probably just increase your sales rate at that point because you've already gotten the appointment booked. But if you can do this stuff, okay, and these first 2, honestly, I think everybody should do. All it costs you is the software subscription and, just a little bit of time and effort. This will really help. This will really increase your booking rate. And then you can work on the close rate later, okay? You work on these problems one at a time in that order, in the order that they come in. And here's the speed to lead stats if you want to get an idea of just how important it is to get in touch with people right away. You can just pause and read these. But basically, that's everything I've got for this video. I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, you can leave them for me in the comments and I'll get back to you. But if you're looking to generate more estimates for your painting business, estimates and not just leads, then you can book a free consultation with me on my website and we can have a conversation. But other than that, thanks for watching.